game. People are coming out the woodwork. All right, perfect. So what I want to start with doing is, if you could just introduce yourself, say your name, say, I guess, where you're from, but where your parents were born,
Okay.
and then how you identify.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. My name is Annette Oakley. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. My dad is from Jamaica, and my mom is from, America. She's from down south, things like that, from Gullah Geechee area. Um, and I identify as black. I identify as black, African American. Um, I even go as far as Caribbean American,
Mhm,
bringing in the heritage from my dad's side. So,
mhm.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And so you were raised with a Jamaican father and a Black American mother. What was that like in terms of like church, upbringing? Like how were you raised religiously?
Okay, so here's an interesting fact. My dad did not believe in a white man's God at all. He did not
Okay.
believe in a white man's God. He was just like, no, we're not doing any of that
Mhm.
in this household.
Right.
So,
And I'm
growing
just
up,
gonna take notes. If you see me over
okay,
here,
that's fine.
I'm typing and
That's
writing.
fine. So,
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I didn't grow up in the church at all.
Okay.
I didn't grow up in the
Okay.
church at all. I honestly grew up not knowing who the divine was, who spirit was, who God
Mm,
was, whatever you call God. I didn't grow up knowing who God was because my dad
mhm.
was so adamant as I don't believe in the white man's God. So
Right.
he didn't really he's sort of identified as a Pan African, like the Marcus Garvey lights, those that
Mhm.
black out, those like
Right.
those type of practices. So that was never allowed in the
Mm,
household growing up. So as a child, you grow up sort of confused, like, okay, everybody's talking about God, everybody's talking about the Bible, and it's like, who is God?
mhm.
Because I don't know
Mm,
who God is. I saw my
mhm.
cousins; they went to church every Sunday faithfully. Every
Okay.
Sunday they
This
was in
is
the
cousins on your father's side or your mother's
cousins from
side?
my mom's side.
Okay, okay.
My
Mhm.
mom's side. They were in the church every Sunday faithfully in their
Mhm.
church
Mhm.
outfits, in their Easter, in their Sunday fits. They were there. So I'm just like,
Mhm.
how come we're not going to church? Like, what's that about?
Right.
Like
Right.
my mom, she never mentioned anything about God or the Bible
Mm.
and things like that. I'm pretty sure that she knew about it. I'm pretty sure she was aware, but my dad shut it down.
So let's talk about that dynamic. Like when you say you pretty sure she was aware, is that because you saw your grandmother practicing
My
religion
grandmother
or
had a Bible. My grandma had a
okay.
Bible.
Okay.
She always had a cross, so whenever we went to my grandmother's house, there was always this Bible that she hid.
Mhm.
We always thought it was filled with secrets or like certain things like in there that
Right.
we could gather for our own, but so I'm like, okay, my grandmother knew about the Bible,
Mhm.
right? And if I see my cousins going to church, which is my aunt, right, which is her sister,
Mhm.
she's
Mhm.
aware
Mhm.
of of
Of
church.
church.
She's
Right.
aware of the Bible. She's aware of God. But I guess being that she was in a relationship with someone that
Mhm.
did not believe in God, she didn't like speak about it maybe. Or
You mean your
she didn't care about
grandmother?
my mother.
Oh,
And being that my
okay.
mother
Okay,
was with my
got you.
dad, being that she was with my dad and he didn't believe
Right.
in God, I guess
Mhm.
it wasn't allowed to be spoken about because I don't remember it.
Right.
And yeah,
Did you spend any time with your mother's mother? And if so, did she take you to church or did you see her going to church?
I didn't see my grandmother going to church.
Wow.
All I knew is that she had her Bible, and that's that's all
That
I
was the
know.
end of it.
That was the end of it. A Bible. I
Wow.
really didn't come into the divine until I became a teenager. Like I
Okay.
really didn't
Okay.
learn about the Bible and things like that until I became a teenager through my oldest sister.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let's let's break it down. So far, what I understand is that you grew up in a household that was a religious without religion,
Hmm.
and that there wasn't a religious establishment, but more so a resistance established to religion.
Yes,
And that even though you have seen your grandmother with a Bible, was it your grandmother who had a Bible or your mother?
my grandmother read a Bible.
Okay, even though you have seen your grandmother with the Bible, even though your cousins on your mother's side went to church every weekend, that it was not a part of your fabric and your upbringing at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah,
Um, so in this childhood phase, you did not have any concept of God. Like
no,
there was no understanding of what God is and
no.
how this works. Okay. So tell me then, you said that you learned later on
Yes.
about God. So tell me about what age that was, and then tell me like how that transpired.
Okay, so I must have been a teenager, maybe around 12, 11, 12, like a preteen, like 11, 12.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
my sister, my oldest sister, she was attending church with my cousins weekly
Mhm.
on Sunday.
Mhm.
And I guess her and my mom had these situations, and my sister began to see things.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
began to see
Mhm.
things spiritually. And she taught us instantly. She was like, "Yeah, I have to start sleeping with the Bible under your pillow because if I'm seeing things, 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna start seeing things."
That's what your sister said.
Yes, that's what
Okay. All
my
right.
older sister said,
And
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 she
so how many years difference are you with your sister?
maybe about 5. It's about maybe like a 5 year difference, 4 to 5.
Okay. And so she's older.
She's the oldest. She's the eldest.
Okay, got it. Got
Yes,
it.
yes,
Okay. So continue. So your sister said, I'm seeing things.
yes. She was seeing things that
Now,
she was
now
not supposed to see.
you tell me again, what sparked her seeing things? You
So
said she had a situation. If
her,
you,
and my mom, her, and my
Mhm.
mom were having they were not seeing eye to eye. They were not having a
Okay.
better relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So after that transpired, my sister began to see certain, I guess, spirits. She began
Okay.
to see
Got
spirits.
it. Got it.
And I guess she wasn't ready to see certain things. So she came to us. She was like, "Yeah, I have to start sleeping with a Bible under your pillow." It was a little green Bible. And she taught us Psalms 23.
Okay.
Psalms 23. That was the first psalm I ever learned. Psalms 23. And I still
Okay.
remember that psalm to this day. I recite it every morning, every night, added on with Psalms
Wow.
1. It's the combo. you know?
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
your sister came. You were how old at that time?
I was maybe like 11, like 10 or 11 at that time. 11, 12. I'm sorry. 11, 12 that time.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And she's like, start sleeping with the Bible underneath
I'll
your
sleep with
pillow
the Bible underneath your pillow
and start reciting these
and
20,
start
23rd
reciting
Psalm.
Psalms 23.
Okay. Okay. So you immediately sprung into action because your sister told you to do that.
Yes, I sure
Okay.
did. Whatever
She
she
said,
was
I'm not
seeing, she
wasting
was
any
like,
time. What
yeah,
do you
whatever
mean?
she was seeing, I was like, okay, like I don't know what you seeing, but I don't want to see what you seeing right now. So
Right. Whatever it is,
yeah,
I'm not trying to be a part of that.
yes,
Right,
yes.
right. And what did you understand about seeing things at that time? Like what what did you know? What did you not know about the concept of actually
I
seeing
didn't
stuff?
understand. I didn't understand the spiritual realm at that time. I didn't understand
Okay.
seeing things, none of that
Okay.
at all. I just knew
Okay.
that that gift of sight, it ran in my family.
Mhm.
Because I had a little cousin.
Oh.
She used to see people in my
Oh.
cousin's home in Queens. So she used to see people
Okay.
walking around, spirits.
Mhm.
And I was like,
Mhm.
what do y'all mean by seeing things? But as I got older, I'm like, oh, this is what y'all mean. This is what I
Mhm.
was like, okay. But yeah, at that time, I didn't have no concept of or understood what seeing things meant. But my
Mhm.
sister
Got
was
it. Got it.
within. So she,
So
un-
the only instance you had in understanding seeing things was your cousin from before.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
And so around this 12, 11 time, you got this Bible underneath your pillow. Now you're in a different stage. Now what do you think about God? Now what do you think about religion? Like if somebody asks 13-year-old Annette, would you say, "Yes, I'm a Christian"? Like what are you thinking now?
I wouldn't say I'm a Christian. I wouldn't even say I'm a Christian. I would say, like, I just recite the Psalms. And if that
That's
makes
what you
me
would have said
Christian,
at 13.
yeah, I would have said I
Okay.
recite Psalms 23. I don't go to church. Like,
Right.
I'm just building my relationship with God. I'm just on coming to
Right.
understanding. So at
Right.
13, I'm still lost.
What was your understanding about Jesus?
Okay, so so at that time, everybody had the wall of Jesus, and everybody had the picture up of Jesus on the wall. So I'm like, oh, okay, Jesus is a white man. I'm like, okay, cool. But then it goes back to my mind. I was like, wait, my dad said he don't believe in the white man. So now I'm confused.
Right. All over again.
So now I'm confused all over again. And it's just like, what am I supposed to be? Like, who am I supposed to believe in? Like,
Right. Did you ask your sister these questions? Like like, it sounds like your dad was very adamant. Could you go to him and talk to him? Could you talk to your sister? Like, who are
absolutely
the
not.
people? Oh,
Absolutely not.
okay.
I could not go to
Okay.
my dad and talk to my dad at that time about Jesus or God, because my dad was very adamant on white. Anything that's white, it's not right.
It ain't right.
Like white flour, white sugar, white bread,
Period.
white dog, and he
I
burned
mean,
burned the white dog. Was like, now you have a black dog, and I was just like, so no, I knew not to go to him at all.
right.
But with my sister, like, she was in church heavily every Sunday. So of course she's like, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. He's a
Oh,
protector.
so your sister
He's a,
she
yes,
would have identified as
yes.
Christian.
She would have identified as Christian. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though nobody said that term, but I'm thinking y'all in church every Sunday. So like clockwork. So y'all, you know. So
Right.
and around at that time we were going to a place called Yogi Bear every
Okay.
Saturday, and they taught us about Jesus, and they taught us about God, and they, like, things like that. That's how I came
Mhm.
into learning about, okay, God and Jesus and things like that.
Mhm.
Yogi Bear,
Mhm.
like nobody never said that.
Yogi
Yes,
Bear was a like a church institution.
it was like, yes, it was like a church institution. Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. And so your mother took you there.
my mother didn't take me there. My sisters took me there because it was right around the corner
Okay.
from the house. So we would go every Saturday. We would go every Saturday to Yogi Bear every morning. We would go.
Okay. And this is all happening around 12,
This is
11,
all
12.
happening around that age, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, tell me about Yogi Bear. Like start from the beginning. When did you start going? What were they teaching? Did they have a white guy?
They did.
Like
They sure did. They sure did. They had a white god. They sure did. So Yogi Bear, it was like, let me tell you exactly what it is, so that, because I don't want
Mhm.
to like,
Make it up.
yeah, because I'm like, no, like, no,
False represent.
yeah. Okay, so basically, Yogi Bear is known for, like, its children. It's basically like a
Mhm.
children's church. So
Okay, okay.
we used to go every Saturday morning, and it was packed every Saturday morning. And the first time we were
What?
going, they would have us praying. They would have us watching stories about Jesus. We would also play games. They give away prizes. And I remember they always had us chanting what we call now affirmations, right? They had to say, God loves
Oh.
me. Like, God loves me.
Okay, okay,
God,
okay,
all
okay.
the time. Like, God
Mm.
loves me.
Right,
Like,
right. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Jesus died for
Interesting.
me. Jesus died for me. Like, I need to decide to live for God. Like, those are the three things. And then they'll come on the music, da, 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 and the church music start playing, and they get
Wait,
excited.
so is this a black establishment?
I don't think it was a black establishment. I don't. I don't think it's one. I don't
I
think
mean,
it.
were the facilitators black or was it,
They were mixed white. They were white. They
okay,
were black. Like it
okay.
was mixed, and it was everybody was a Yogi Bear. I'm pretty sure if we ask the people about Yogi Bear, they know what Yogi Bear is. It was right in Brooklyn, right on Evergreen. I'm pretty sure they know. I'm pretty sure the
I
people
mean,
know.
I am 100% sure that people who went to Yogi Bear
Yeah,
have memories of Yogi
yeah,
Bear. I just never ever heard
yes,
of this before in my life.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. And it
I
was
never
everybody.
ever.
Everybody was in there. Was a Yogi Bear.
Wow.
Little stadium.
Okay.
I was in there. It was
Wow.
dope though.
Okay.
It was dope. It was cool, especially at that age where you don't have a concept or like a understanding of who God is yet. It's like
Yeah.
you're looking for someone to believe in. You're looking for that connection. Like you
Yes.
have these questions, and it's just like so. It gave me that. It gave me the answers that I needed at
That
that
you
time.
needed. Right, right, right. And with you going to Yogi Bear, is your father aware that you was going to Yogi Bear?
My mom and my dad were no longer together at the time, so it was just like,
Oh.
uh-huh. It was like, yeah, yeah,
So
they were.
there was like a lift
Yep.
off of that restriction.
Yes.
Right. And that opened up
Yes.
the space for you. Okay. Got
Yes.
it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. So Okay, so now you're navigating new religious introduction
Yes.
while also not having your father in the home anymore.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So then in this time of Yogi Bear, did it feel like, okay, now I am a Christian?
I guess you could say so. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I just feel like I never really identify as a hard Christian. Like, but at that time, if I'm going there every Saturday, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying those affirmations, if I'm singing the
Mm-hmm.
songs and I'm doing this, then yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And did you see a shift with your mother at that time? Did your mother start also participating with Christianity more or showing up more as a Christian? How did
No.
things change in that regard? No.
No, she did not show up more as a Christian. I never saw my mom in church.
Okay.
I never saw
Okay.
my mom in church.
So then now that now that we done taken this journey, now you're, a teenager. Now what would teenager Jeanette say about God? If somebody says,
God is
Jeanette,
real. I believe in God. God is a protector. God is a divine. God, like, like God is real. Jesus is real. you
yes.
know,
Now
at
you're absolutely clear, you're on
that,
board, this and
yes.
that.
I
And
understand the
really, I
story.
guess the question is, what was it about? Well, first of all, what were you really learning? And what was it about what you were learning that made it easy for you to accept and to jump on board with what you were being taught?
Like we were learning about the stories of Jesus, the stories of God, like the miracles he made, he could do. We were really learning about it was really like Saturday, Sunday school.
Right.
So we're in there and they have us opening up the Bibles. They have us playing games. They have us telling like, hey, we love Jesus and God loved me. And we doing all of those things. And it's just like, I felt it in my body. Like, okay, this energy feels right. This energy feels good. So
Mhm.
of course I'm going to
Mhm.
believe in whatever they're teaching me, especially if I don't have no one outside of me in my family teaching me anything. So of course I'm
Right.
going to believe what they taught me about the Bible,
Right.
about Jesus, about God.
Right. Yeah.
But as I got
Yeah.
older, something was just like, this is not making sense. Still, it's not making sense.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But at that time,
But at that
it
time,
felt
I was
it
very
felt right.
it felt right. It felt right at
Mhm.
that time. It felt right for a long
Yeah.
it felt right for a very, very long time.
Yeah. And everyone in your household except for your mother more or less accepted these
Mhm.
teachings and this
Mhm.
understanding and Christianity as a whole.
Mhm. Mhm. And she understood it. She understood it. She just never said any. It was just never spoken about in the home. And I'm like, it
How
was
you
always.
know she understood if she never said that she understood? How you know she was how you know she didn't marry your father or get with your father because deep down she believed what he believed, that she was more equally yoked with that. How you know in that? How you
I,
know?
it's like because when my sister had because okay, so I have an uncle who taught
Mhm.
my sister Psalms 23. He taught her
Mhm.
about the Bible. So
Mhm.
it's no way possible that your brother know about the Bible, that your sister know about the Bible, that everybody around you, all your siblings know about the Bible and about church and things like that, but you don't know about it. So I don't know if she cut herself off from it, if she just was like no, disconnected with
Mhm.
my dad, and then after they broke up, it was kind of like, hey, like okay. But also, if you didn't believe in it, why are you sending us to Saturday Sunday school?
So let's talk about that. Let's actually have a conversation about that
Mm-hmm.
because I am the non-believer in my
Okay.
household.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm in a household with me practicing ATR, African
Mhm.
traditional religions. My
Mhm.
husband is a full-blown West African Muslim,
Okay.
and my son has a Bible in his room.
Mhm.
I found out 3 years ago that my mother took him to the church so he could get saved.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't sanction that. I didn't
Right.
approve that.
Mhm.
Okay. But I understand the concepts of Christianity and the concepts of Christ.
Mhm.
I, like your father, am very no white man's God,
Mhm.
very anti white sugar, white flour, okay,
Mhm.
white salt, very
Mhm.
anti as well, okay.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, what's funny is that I'm teaching a workshop tomorrow, my second video in the Demonizing the Divine Her
Mhm.
series. And tomorrow is about white Jesus. That's what we're
See?
talking about tomorrow. Right, right, right. And I was gonna open up with the song by Sizzler. I have no white God. White God teach us white man religiosity, right? So
Mhm.
I was like, if I play that on YouTube, YouTube is definitely gonna
Yeah,
have a
they'll cut you
problem
off.
with it. But
Yeah.
that would have been my opening song,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
Now, having said all of that, I would still allow my mother to take my daughter to church. I would still allow my mother to take my son to church,
Mhm.
primarily because um, I want them to have an understanding and be exposed to
Mhm.
these concepts of religiosity. I want them to be exposed to religiosity,
Right.
okay? Um, my husband takes my son to the mosque every Eid. Every
Mhm.
Eid, he's in the mosque with my husband. He can't Allah Akbar. He don't know the words, but
Mhm.
he's in there,
Yeah.
So for me, the exposure of the religious system is
Mhm.
something that I think many parents surrender to.
Mhm.
Also, it provides foundation where there is none.
Right.
Okay. There's
Mhm.
also a lot more resources in
Mhm.
Christianity, a
Mhm.
lot more information. It's already
Yes.
set up. You don't have to
Mhm.
start from scratch. Like
Yes.
there's a lot of things that Christianity offers tool wise,
Mhm.
right? That don't exist for many other religions or systems or practices. I was
Right.
just telling a classmate, it was a classmate of mine, her name is Jessica. And if she's
Mhm.
watching this, Jessica, I told you I was going to talk about you. So Jessica is not Christian, but
Mm.
Jessica works full time at a church, and her
Mm.
job is teaching Sunday school. She's a
Mm.
Sunday school teacher, and now
Mhm.
she's teaching vacation Bible school.
Wow.
Okay, but she's not Christian. And I'm
Right.
like, Jessica, what? And she's like,
Right.
yes, I know. And she's like, but the church is really progressive and this and that. we talk about a lot of things. And she's like, the bottom line is when people come, we accept them as they are. Like, we're not
Mhm.
trying to force them to not be who they are. Like, we love you no matter who you love. We love you no matter what, no matter what you do. And that's
Mhm.
supposed to be Christ's love.
Right.
Okay. Boom. Having said that, Jessica and I were talking yesterday because I was like, Christianity did a lot of damage
Mhm.
to
Yep.
the black community.
Sure did.
Bottom line, and Jessica's white, so I talk
Mhm.
about it. My classmate, you're gonna learn today, right?
Mhm.
So I was telling Jessica about a young lady who I've been teaching divine feminine, black feminine studies for 15 years, right? And there
Nice.
was a conference that I did years ago, the Goddess Conference. And when I did that Goddess Conference, I had vendors selling different things. I had speakers, leading workshops and sessions. So it was a full day of
Mhm.
conference stuff in the divine feminine.
Mhm.
So one of my vendors came and she was selling like little trinkets and little jewelry pieces and stuff like that. And I told she was like, "Can I sit in on the workshops?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. You're here. You're a vendor. You welcome. You can sit in on anything you want." So she started sitting in on a workshop. She was sitting in on everything, every single thing that
Mhm.
that that we taught. She was there, okay, front and center, okay. So at the end of the conference, we allow people to get on the mic and just talk about their experience, how they felt, etc. Long story short, she was like, I'm in. Like, whatever this is, I'm
Mhm.
about to learn it. I'm 100% in. Like, divine feminine, goddess studies, I'm
Right.
in there. And she did. She popped off. She started manifesting. She blew her trinket business up. Now she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars. She's
Mhm.
manifesting new cars, manifesting vacation, new condo. Every time you turn around, this is on something new. So I'm like, okay, great. So I'm hearing through the grapevine that she's also stepping into plant medicine ceremonies, working with the shamans that I brought to the conference. Like, she's really on a roll. But at a certain point, I started to get worried for her because she started going to shamans that were way ahead of where
Mhm.
she might have been able to be,
Mhm.
from where she started.
Mhm.
And at a certain point, she made a video, and in her video she said that she was going to go to Christianity. She was releasing all the things and going to Christianity.
So what she saw, that's the question. What did she experience? What did she
So
see? That
this is it for me, because me and Jessica was there powwowing about it yesterday, and I have a very clear understanding of what might have happened. Right, like, I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure that this is
Mhm.
what happened.
Mhm.
When you are on this independent, soloized, divine feminine journey to self,
Mhm.
essentially,
Mhm.
this journey can be the most isolating thing that you will ever do. You work
Yes.
around people,
Mhm.
you go to school around people, you
Mhm.
grocery shop around people, you do everything around people. But when
Mhm.
you're on the spiritual journey and you're in the mud, in the dark, in the shadow work, in the this, in the that, in the ancestral work, in the lineage stuff, all of in the trauma, in the pain, and ancestral pain, generational pain. When you're in all of that, it is a solo journey. You're by yourself. Okay.
Mhm.
And for all intents and purposes, that is an arena for which Christianity has no competition. As a
Yeah.
Christian, you will never be by yourself. If I
Yeah.
live in Tanzania, if I leave Tanzania right now and I
Mhm.
go to Tahiti, there are Christians waiting for me in Tahiti. If I leave
Yes.
Tahiti and I go to
Mhm.
Fiji, there are Christians waiting for me in Fiji. Do you understand what I'm saying? You will never be without a church home. You will
Mhm.
never be alone. As long
Yes.
as you're Christian, just like they say, as long as you're black, you'll never be alone because there's always a white person. No, as long as you're
Mhm.
Christian, you'll never be alone because
Yep.
there's always another Christian willing to hold your hand in the middle of a grocery store
Yep. Mhm. Hold space for you. It's always a
and pray for
place
you.
for you all the time.
That's it. So this
Mhm.
is something that humans need to belong. Like
Yeah.
in Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, belonging is part. We need safety, we need
Mhm.
security, we need food, water, groceries, we need
Mhm.
to have access to medical care, first aid. We need to belong.
Yeah, we
we
need
have to have we
community.
have to have belonging, we have to have sense of purpose. All
Mhm.
these things are part of
Mhm.
the human hierarchical needs.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so the reality is that with Christianity, it's no competition for belonging. Like, you're gonna belong as long as
Regardless.
you know, so said Jesus is your sin
Mhm.
and the savior and whatever the thing you're supposed to
You good.
say.
Yep, you
Hint,
good. Uh-huh. Yep.
right? Then
Yep.
you're in the club. You didn't have to
Mhm.
pay no money.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? You
You
ain't
ain't
have to
got to do no
sacrifice your
shadow work,
firstborn.
do nothing. You just there. And
You're
hey, Mr. Wilkins,
in.
open arms. You yeah.
You're and then if you're abandoned and you go to a church that theoretically the church supposed to feed you, church supposed
Mhm.
to look out for you, we're
Mhm.
only entering in a hypocrisy of church, and the hypocrisy of church now being exposed over the
Yes.
last 30 years because of the mega churches. But
Yes.
prior to the mega churches, people always looked at the house of the Lord is the
Mhm.
house of refuge. It's the
Yep.
community house. Before
Mhm.
Black people had townhouses or town halls, they had the church. This is
Mhm.
what they had to
Yep.
congregate.
Mhm.
So this is why I say, I'm not trying, I'm not defending your mother,
No,
but
I
I'm just
get
letting
it.
you know
Mhm.
that as a mother,
Mhm.
my children can't be indoctrinated directly
Mhm.
because I'm not with it. Like, I'm not with
Right.
the nonsense. I'm gonna let you know what you need to know, right?
Mhm.
And then especially me doing this type of work, it's really hard
Yeah.
for them to be indoctrinated, direct
Mhm.
indoctrination.
Mhm.
But I do understand why my son like he leans into that being an area of acceptance. It's
Yeah.
structured. It
Yeah.
makes sense. There's
Mhm.
stories. There's things for
Yeah.
him to
It's proof.
grab,
Yeah.
right? Grab his mind, onto. There's entertainment. My
Mhm.
daughter was so resistant. I went to visit the US last year to take my mother on a cruise. And child, I happened to end up in Atlanta right around Easter Sunday. I'm from Atlanta. And I
Mm.
happened to end up in Atlanta right around Easter Sunday. So I'm like, my daughter's like, Granny wants me to go to church for Easter Sunday. I'm like, girl, we gonna be in there for
This
Easter
work.
Sunday. What you
Right. This
mean?
is people.
I said, and she was like, Mommy, what are you like? It's you. And I'm like, no, 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 babe.
Mhm.
I haven't been to an
Mhm.
Easter Sunday service in about 100 years. Okay.
Wow.
And Easter
Wow.
service Sunday in Atlanta,
Different.
Georgia. Oh,
Different.
baby,
Yeah, you're there.
baby, cream
Yeah.
of the crop.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, cream of the crop. So
Yeah.
it's different. It's a performance. You got singing. You have opera. You have
You got the whole
the
time.
live
Mhm.
music.
Mhm.
Sign me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Mhm. I get
Sign
it.
me up. So at any rate, I'm supposed to be taking more notes. Go
It's okay. It's
ahead and
okay.
tell me now what you think about how your mother might have been seeing it. Not necessarily from a place of does she understand it or not, but
Mhm.
what may have been her motivations, you think. And even tell me a little bit about where y'all are now. Like, have you talked to her about religion now? Like,
What?
what
What? My mother, so I work with my ancestors. I work with the ancestors. I work with the divine. I
okay.
work with the herbs. So she believe in the herbs. She believe in like nature, all of those things. When it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
ancestors, baby, I'm not touching that. She's not
Oh,
touching the ancestors.
okay.
And her favorite thing is the only ancestor I know is Jesus. I said
Wow.
she knows. That's why I said she knows. She knows whole time.
Wha- That's as in that's her ancestor. Oh, so Jesus is her
Jesus,
ancestor.
Jesus is her ancestor. Jesus is that's who she goes back to. She goes back to
Give
Jesus.
thanks and praise.
Thanks and
Okay.
praise. She goes back
we
to Jesus.
I didn't know that. And I
Yes.
and I actually I think that that's so cute. I
Yeah.
think that that's very very cute that she
She
She,
goes to
has expressed that to you and et cetera.
Jesus, yeah,
Um,
God, yeah, she's heavy. She prays. She prays for her
mhm.
children. She prays as soon as she wake up, she pray. That's her thing. I'm like,
Okay.
she prays, but
Okay.
she has gifts. She has gifts too. She has gifts.
Okay. 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 So, yeah, talk to me a little bit about what it's like transitioning from uh Yogi Bear?
Yogi Bear to the
Yes.
ancestors.
Yes. What
Um,
what what is that? What was that transition like?
it was a huge leap because, you know, the ancestors, if you practice hoodoo and things like that, they still
Mhm.
they work with the Bible, they work with Psalms, they work with what they got, 'cause that's what they,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know. But I don't find myself, I still recite the Psalms and things like that, but being heavily in the Bible, like the Bible work, I don't really I don't really feel called to it. I do have the Bible on
Mhm.
my altar though, because that's what my ancestors practice. So of course I'm gonna put it up there. I'm gonna put it up there for them. Like, okay, when I get called to recite a certain Psalms, when it comes up in my dreams, like,
Mhm.
you gotta say this. So I
Mhm.
go on and say it because it all depends on which ancestor I'm working with. I know if I'm working with
Right.
my feminine ancestors, my grandmothers, my great grandmothers, that Bible coming out,
Nice. Nice.
that
Nice.
rosary coming out.
Yeah,
So
nice.
it's like so it's like I learned how to tap in and I learned how to tap out. But regardless,
Mhm.
that energy of Jesus, that energy of God, of course, God, divine source, spirit, whoever you consider God, because it's like,
Mhm.
I still walk with God. I walk with my ancestors, right?
Yes.
I work the elements, I work nature, I work the herbs. I still do what I need to do. Sunday, I'm still sitting up here cleaning my house with the Sunday church music.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like no matter how far you go, it's like you can't really like just cut yourself off from it.
Yeah.
Like, well, my fiance, he's not a Christian, but he prays and things like that. His family is in church faithfully. We going to church
Mm.
Sunday. His dad like, hey, y'all need to get called to church. I know when I get called to church, when his dad say I need to get like, oh, we need to come to church. Okay, cool, we going. So
Right. But
yeah.
tell me like more or less not the practices itself, but what brought you there? Like how did you wind like it's like you just just wind up here. Like how did we go from we were just there? How did we get over there?
I sort of it's trauma.
Trauma brought you to hoodoo?
Trauma brought me to hoodoo.
Oh, you
Something
got to tell me
had
what had happened.
I had a very traumatic experience, very, very traumatic experience
Okay.
where I was like questioning certain things with God. Like, why did this have to happen to me? Like, why me?
Mhm.
Like, why
Mhm.
did this? And I was like, Jesus is not, it's no way this happened to me and and Jesus is
It's
around.
real.
Like Jesus,
Yeah.
it's not making sense. So it brought me
Yeah.
back to what my father said about the white man's God, and
Mm.
I was like, I'm
Oh,
missing.
oh. What age is this that you had this trauma? Or what age are you at this stage now?
I had the trauma at 24.
Oh, 24. Okay. So you have been in the Christianity about 10 years already.
Yeah, I've been in
Okay.
Christianity for like 10 years. Like, praying,
Okay.
not really going to church for praying and things like that,
Mhm.
oil on the head course and things like that, things like that.
Right.
But I had that trauma and I was like, something is missing. Something is missing.
Mhm.
I like, I still don't have that connection. It
Right.
wasn't until I came across this random video because I was like, God, give me an answer. Like I was like, I need something. I need to
Right.
know that you real. I
It's
need to know
not
that
clear.
because I'm not. And then a video popped up about the ancestors on YouTube, and I was like, and I believe that, like, the ancestors speak through like technology and things like that.
Right.
When that video
Mhm.
popped up, and when I watched it, I was like, this is the missing link.
Mm.
This is what I'm missing.
Mm.
Because I didn't know nothing about the angels or anything like that. But when I
Mhm.
saw that video, I was like, this makes sense, and it landed.
Mm.
It landed for me, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "This is what I'm doing." But of course, it's like then I go to, "Oh, I don't have no ancestor," because I'm at the beginning, because I'm at the beginning of my journey. I have no teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I have none of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's me, and I'm just like, I don't have an ancestor. But then it's like
What so the video was on ancestors.
the video was about ancestors and ancestral veneration, how we work with ancestors. Our ancestors are always with us. It was that
Mm-hmm.
video, and I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. And it landed for me. So then, of course, I
Mm-hmm.
called my mom. I was like, "Mom, do you know about the ancestors?" And she's like, "The ancestors, da, 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 da." But
Jesus.
Jesus, but I found out that I had an aunt that passed away. I think it was a
Mhm.
week before or after I was born, and I was like, "Oh, that's the connection." And that's what I started with. I started with my aunt, Light, Peace, and Progress,
Mhm.
Light, Peace, and Progress of Spirit. I started with my aunt. I sat up there and I built that ancestral altar and I built that relationship.
Wow.
From one ancestor to boom, 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 everybody's here.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it makes
Wow.
I'm like, oh no, everybody needs to be doing this work because it's like steps. So
Just from one ancestor now,
just from one
you in.
ancestor, just from one ancestor, I'm in. Because I used to ask my dad, like, Dad, do we have any herbalists or anything in the family? I was asking him this for 3 years.
Wow.
He just came to me recently and was like, I know you've been asking, so here's a name. She was a peacemaker. She was a peacekeeper in Jamaica. She was heavy in the church. Da 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 da. Da. She took care of the children. She took care of the kids. Whenever there was a problem, this who the
Wow.
community would go to. And when she passed in Jamaica, they elevated her spirit. The entire community came out. And I was like, I was asking
What?
for 3 years, but she wasn't ready to make herself known to me. But
That part. That part. And so you took an independent journey at 24.
yes, at 24, I took an independent journey, and I'm 36.
No guidance. It was one YouTube video, but no guidance.
No guidance. I hopped in one class later on after like 3 years after I had my ancestral altar up. I hopped in one
Mm-hmm.
class. I hopped
Mm-hmm.
in one
And talk to me a little bit about we have about like 15 minutes, so
class. Mhm,
we got some time.
mhm.
Talk to me about like you doing the solo thing. Like why? You had come from, community and church and your sister and your, family.
I didn't think they will understand. I didn't think they will understand what's up once I go to like the
Well, no, I
ancestral.
mean like why didn't you search for people who also believed in ancestors and
Mhm.
altars and stuff like that? What was the thought process at the beginning of the journey? Was it just like I'm just
At
gonna do
the
my thing
You know
and
what it was? It was deemed as demonic, as evil. So it's
mm,
like so it's like because of course you see the video and you see comments under the video like this go back to Jesus or this is demonic, da, 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 and it's just like you see those things and you don't want to come right out and be like, hey, I'm renovating my ancestors or I'm elevating my
mhm,
ancestors, or I'm honoring my ancestors.
mhm,
So it's
mhm.
like that's scary for a lot of people to come from behind the shadows and say that you're doing that work. So
Yeah,
in my mind, I'm like, nobody's gonna understand what I'm doing.
got
Like,
it. Did you kind of think that other people really weren't doing it as well?
yeah, I thought that everybody
Okay.
just was just like, Christianity, Jesus, and things like that, but because it wasn't popular. Nobody seems to talk about honoring your
Out in
ancestors
the open.
out in the open. Like,
Right.
of course, we see Lion King, and it's like, hey, like we don't make that connection, right? We
Wait, I'm
don't make that
sorry.
connection. We see
You gonna
Coco.
have to explain why you brought up Lion King in the middle of this
Oh
conversation about
my God. All right,
a
so
solo spiritual journey.
listen,
We
it,
didn't go with you there. We didn't go with you. Bring it back and bring us to it. Calm down.
yeah, like, when you watch Lion King, right? When you watch the
Mhm.
Lion King, and I always say this all the time. What happened when Mufasa passes away, and Simba gets older, and Mufasa always told him like, I'm never gone. I'm always in the stars. I'm always in the moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like just the elements, which is nature. And Simba, he gets older and he doesn't have no connection. He's lost. He don't remember that he's a king. He's lost.
Right.
What's happening? But then he's
Right.
just like, he got Rafiki comes in saying, remember who you are. Remember who
Right.
you are. Look deeper within yourself. What happened? He looks in the water. He see his reflection first, but then it turns into his dad reflection, and his dad,
Yeah.
remember who you are. Remember who you are. Right? That's Mufasa is the ancestor. And I know it
Right.
doesn't make sense to people, but if you go watch Coco, they're renovating, that's ancestral work out in the open. So it's like once you see that connection, it's like, okay, like it is okay to honor and renovate your ancestors. It's okay. But when you first starting out, if all you surrounded by is people saying it's demonic, people saying it's evil, people
Why do
saying
you think that is? Like, you
it's
know,
it's a
well, let
conditioning.
me let me let me first ask this. Do you believe that white people venerate their ancestors?
Yes.
And if so, what's the proof of that? What is that? What is that answer?
We
Yes.
see it every day. When you look at money, who's on the money?
Mm.
When you look at the founding fathers, who's on the statues of whose four faces is on there? The Lincoln Memorial. You know how many people visit that statue every year? You go to the airport. Whose names on these airports? You see the school buildings. Whose names on these school buildings? We see it all the time when it comes to the white ancestors, when it comes to renovating their ancestors. President's Day, we celebrating all their holidays. It's every single day, but people don't look at it that way because that's the way that they set it up. They're like,
What do you mean
we're
that's
not.
how they set it up?
This
Who
is,
set it up?
this is you know, the system. This is how it is. They don't want us.
Why? Why? What are you talking about, Annette?
Well,
Talk to me.
they don't.
Talk to me
They don't
like I'm slow.
talk to you like you five. All right. They don't. They don't want us to connect to our wisdom. They don't want us to
Or
connect
better yet,
to our.
talk to me like like this is the message that your younger self who couldn't understand why your dad was saying what he was saying
They don't want
when
us to reclaim our ancestral practices. Because once we reclaim our ancestral practices, we remember who we are. We remember our power. We remember our gifts. We remember our wisdom, which is very, very ancient wisdom that comes from our highest benevolent ancestors.
Mhm.
And they don't want us to remember that because they want a way to control us. Once black women, even black men in general, once we start tapping into our own spirit, our own wisdom, those things that we have within us, nobody will be able to control us.
Hmm.
And that's the problem. We're looking for everything outside of us.
Mhm.
If our ancestors are within us, our ancestors are in our DNA, it's in our DNA and they walk with us. All we have to do is tap in and remember. But it's been we have so much trauma that's been buried, right? So much trauma that we need to get down to the wound and just do our shadow work, do our healing work to unlock our gifts and our wisdom and our power. We've been so disconnected.
How does this serve people in real time? Like for the person who's watching right now, who's from Brooklyn, who went to Yogi Bear too, who had to go to church and grew up with a Christian background.
Mhm,
If you're telling her that ancestral veneration is where we could take back our power,
mhm,
how does that show up in real life? Like in real life, day
mhm.
to day, what does that mean palatably?
It looked like you having a peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
It look like you having a peace of mind. It look like you having having a peace of mind, understanding that you are in control of your reality. It looks like you coming back home to yourself. And what that look like is you being able to rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
You being able to simply just be yourself, not
Mm-hmm.
your authentic self without being afraid. And people always ask like, what's the benefits of this, right? Like, what's the benefits of this? It's simply just you having knowledge of self, being so aware of who you are that you're able to pass down everything to generations after you, because that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
We all came in here with the purpose, right? And I don't want to go left. This is gonna go left. So I don't want to go too left. I know we have time. But we have to understand that we have to unlearn and relearn what we were taught.
Mm-hmm.
It's as
Mm-hmm.
simple as
Mm-hmm.
that. And once you
Mm-hmm.
unlearn and relearn that, you understand that the spirit of God lives within you. And
Mm. Now,
and go ahead.
mm-hmm. Go ahead. No, go ahead and continue.
You understand that the spirit of God lives within you. And if you understand the white man's God, if you understand
Mm-hmm.
that God and you understand the power and the energy that the white man God has, once you
Mm-hmm.
understand that that spirit of God lives within you, then you'll be able to understand who you are. You'll be able to see and understand what you can do and what you can create with that energy. But people don't see the spirit of God within them. They see this. They see the white man's God, which is
Mm.
okay if that's what you do.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, there's a lot of like themes that are coming up with what you're talking about. Primarily, self identity, self-awareness.
Mhm. Self-love,
um, Sorry,
self love.
self-love, self-discovery, like just but really staying squarely on self, I and I.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what part of your dad's philosophy or mentality have influenced your spiritual journey or your religiosity? What part of that is an influence?
I think it's just him not. It may sound a little bit prejudiced, but him not believing anything that's white, him not believing the white man's God. I think if I would have followed through with that throughout my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
I would have no sense of identity of who I am.
Hmm.
Because I
If
feel
you
like,
if if you had followed through not believing in the white man's God, then you would not have an identity.
no,
Okay.
no,
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now,
because
is he Rasta?
he don't consider himself as Rasta,
Uh-huh.
but he just don't believe in the white man's God at all. Like,
Okay.
yeah. And his grandmother though, his grandmother was in the church and things like that, but he don't
Okay.
believe in that.
And I
He,
and I I definitely I'm so intrigued by that because my understanding, like my father, pretty much the same way. He's Trinidadian, no white man's God for him either. Thanks, but no thanks, right? But for him, when he talked about the white man's God, he was speaking about that white man with the blonde hair and the blue eyes that people put up in their house.
mhm,
That was their God.
mhm,
He wasn't really speaking about Jah,
mhm,
you know. Even my name, Jamila,
mhm,
he spelled it with JAH in the front. My
mhm,
dad named me. And
mhm.
he was anti-white man's God, but the white man's God was not Jah.
Right, right.
It's a difference, right?
Mhm,
So when
mhm,
we talk about white man's God, God
mm.
is I don't think God belongs to the white man
Yep.
per
Mhm,
se.
mhm.
But I do know that there is a white man's God,
Yes.
and that is what is blonde haired and blue eyed
Yes.
and put up on people's walls.
Yes.
So I think we kind of come from the same um type of paternal influence in
Hmm.
terms of very anti-whiteness,
Yes.
very
Yep.
anti-white God.
Hmm.
But the difference is that through that, I've been able to discover myself.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
mine's is opposite. You said if you believed in the indoctrination from your father, you would have not found yourself. And for me, is if I believe me by me believing in the indoctrination from my dad is how
Mhm.
I found myself, because in understanding that the white man's God was Jesus the Christ, and Isis
Mhm.
and all of these deities that they tried to push on me,
Mhm.
that was automatically X'd out because
Right.
my dad said we don't do white man's God.
Hmm.
So now
Right.
I have to seek the deities that
Hmm.
look like me and find the Oshun and the Oya, and
Right.
find the Aj, and find these ancestral practices that actually belong to me,
Right.
because I have rejected what the white man has pushed through his own agenda.
Yeah,
So
and I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, if I did I say that? No. Okay, maybe I got it mixed up. I feel like if I would have followed, right, the white man's God, if I would
right.
have followed that, then
Hmm.
I wouldn't have no sense of identity of who I am.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. No, 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 no,
okay.
no,
So
no, no, no.
we
Yeah.
yes,
So I was like,
it got
wait, hold
doubled up.
on. Yeah, I was like, wait, hold on. Yeah, if I would have followed that
Hmm.
concept of God,
Right.
I would not have been here where I
Got
am with
it.
my ancestors. I would not have been
Got
here
it.
with a God that looked like me, or even Jesus, what we call Yeshua, right? That
Right.
I wouldn't even, yeah. So yeah, let's
Got
make
it.
that clear. No,
Okay.
let's
Okay. Because
make that clear.
I misunderstood.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
let's make that
you were
no,
saying anti your father's doctrine.
absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I think
So.
based off what he taught me, I know based off that one thing that
Hmm.
means God is not real, that brought me
Hmm.
back. Because it always brought me back to what he said. Everything that I've been through, everything that every church,
Mm.
whatever, I always went back to the white man's God is not real.
Mm.
It's not that. So
Mhm.
how do I
Mhm.
start finding a God that represents black, me, black woman?
Absolutely.
That's what it goes. And I don't practice the ATR, right? I know I'm
Mhm.
that's the soon.
Yeah.
But it's like,
But you're
I'm
squarely in the spiritual journey right now.
spiritual journey with my ancestors,
Okay.
with the elements squarely
Give thanks and
with that.
praise. Give
Yeah.
thanks and praise. And
And
the
that
spiritual journey for you looks like ancestors first, the earth and the herbs.
and the herbs, a lot of womb
Okay.
healing work. Yep.
Womb healing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I love it. Thank you so much, Annette. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else you want to say before we close?
I have an ancestor veneration class actually on my
Okay.
site at
Okay.
anetsapothecary.com. It's
Mhm.
pre-recorded. It's a great class. So definitely go check that out. And always, always, y'all, just honor your ancestors. If you're ever afraid to begin to start doing this work, it's okay to be afraid, but find the right
Mhm.
teacher, find the right guide, find the right person that's always going to bring you back home to yourself.
Ashe.
Okay.
Ashe. Ashe. Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'm gonna see you soon because I'm sure I will see you on my series, and now we're linked up together, so we're gonna
Yes.
be
Yes.
continue on this journey. All
Yes.
right. Give
Thank you.
thanks and praise. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye bye.
All right.